I almost went to highlight Stormcrow's thing before reading it again.
Don't.
Then will I
No,
learn?
you didn't.
I
have
caught it
learned.
last second.
You are learning.
Okay. Bruner, I think I can post his and read on, be just as surprised as everyone else. But Stormcrow, I gotta remember, proofread. I like owning all the books because I want an example of how to write a particular scene. I have those types of scenes marked with different color tags.
Oh,
Cool.
nice. You do research.
Yeah.
You know how much freaking research I had to do so I could get the fight scenes right? Oh my gosh. My brain was melting from the corny kung fu.
My whole life is research.
I hate
That's what I've been
research.
doing since I got
It gets
home until the
everywhere.
time I turned this camera on, doing research for videos.
Yeah, but your job is also research, isn't it? Okay, it's regurgitating facts.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
your hobby is research.
I mean, I do research for my work. It's just I haven't for a while picked up a book about work.
Taking a class on some of those things actually lets you learn some things about them and what's a bit more realistic than what's not. So I've had some martial arts class, I've had a fencing class, and I've shot lots of guns before.
Shotgun, boom.
Are we allowed to say that on YouTube? I don't know. They keep changing their damn rules.
Whatever the rules are, it doesn't matter. You could try and follow them all, but 2 months later, you've retroactively broken them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That works, Stormcrow. But yeah,
Bloodsport was a
that's
good movie.
probably a good idea, though. I mean, Maji was doing it with a whole bunch of kung fu shows, and when she was writing her fight scenes.
I actually had to watch instruction videos on how to fight with short staffs. Like play-by-play basic moves.
Yeah, you know what? As time goes on, I am going to have to look into more details for that, because that's one of the items Haley becomes proficient in is his quarterstaff. So I better
I can't
pretty
pronounce
soon learn
it,
to know what I'm
but-
talking about.
I can't pronounce it, but one of the main characters uses Korean short staffs, which is literally like 8 inches long. That was cool to watch the different
Was
instruction
that called
videos.
Arnice or something like
No,
that?
it's something bow. Choi. I don't know. I have the video saved. But I thought that was an appropriate fight style for that character. So each character has a different fighting style and different way of doing things. So I had to go and look up a lot of the basics, because you can't really write it if you don't know the basics.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to actually go up, find legitimate instructors on YouTube or in books and stuff, like Book of the Five Rings for sword, for two-handed sword technique, and then I went to this black belt with the red stripe qualified. Is that second degree? I don't know. Gina's gonna mock me for not knowing the different degrees here, but for one, and then Gino's helped me with some of just unarmed techniques, because he's had some training. So I have been going to for each different person having their own unique style, but I had to do research so it's matched the person, and in that way it didn't sound like a jumbled mess when you're trying to write it.
The character that I'm writing about, one of his early magical weapons that he comes across is a flame tongue, which is a fire sword, basically. And so Shad's recent video about flame swords was really awesome. That was just amazing.
That's cool. So,
So
like,
Burner, are you talking about one of these?
Oh, yes. There's typically a chain between two of them. Oh, well, I guess there's two different styles. There's one where you've got weights on the end, but then you can. I've also seen them where they're wielding two kusarigamas, or the whatever the scythe thing is, on either end, versus having a weight on one. There's definitely a different fighting style between whether you've got a weight versus double scythes.
Yeah, I was reading a Salvador novel. It was kind of a spin-off. It was about Entreri and Jarlaxle, but they ended up working with a dwarf who it wasn't an item like this. It was more like Morningstar. It was big spiked balls on the end of chains, but this dwarf would use two of them at the same time, swing them both around, and everyone's like, "Wow, that is the weirdest sight, seeing a dwarf wield those two, double wielding those morning stars like that." But I thought it was a cool concept because that's something you definitely don't see every day.
Yeah, I've thought about those, but then Shad's thing about what are
Nunchucks.
they? Yeah, nunchucks. Um, I'm not sure how. Well, I guess depending upon how long your chain is, that would be one thing. Because if you could get enough, like if you could spin it fast enough and then launch it, that could definitely hurt.
Yeah,
Like-
that his commentary on nunchucks did actually end up influencing some of current book. Someone practices with nunchucks twice a week, but considers them impractical, so never carries them in the field. The reason she practices with them is for proprioceptive exercise.
Yeah.
Bernard says the weapon in my story has a dagger with a chain attached to the pommel and a weight on the other side of the chain. Well, wasn't
Nice.
I thought I played a video game where you had a weapon like that once, and I was like, "This is really cool. Too bad you can't do that in real life." I was like, "I guess you can." But that must have an incredibly high skill ceiling. Like you
So I
practice.
cannot pronounce
If
this.
you screw up, you're gonna hurt yourself.
I cannot pronounce this to save my life, but this is what my Minotaur uses. I put it in chat. I don't want to butcher it. I feel bad,
Yep.
but it's basically the Inca club or the Mayan club with the obsidian shards in it.
Oh
Yeah, I-
those things.
yeah.
Sorry. I'm gonna look
I
one of
used
those
that
up.
for a
Let
character
me
for a
see,
story a while
UAH.
back.
I'm
The
definitely familiar with those.
Damaquinte? I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Yeah, no, I know.
We'll just
neither.
call it a machete.
It looks cool. The spelling looks cool, and the weapon looks cool too. And I don't want to get hit with it.
Whittle?
I put it in. The YouTube chat, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't copy and paste from that though.
Makua Huitl?
HUIT.
Maybe? I don't know.
those things are vicious because not only is it a club, but the obsidian shards would break apart in your body
Yeah.
and you die from infection. So if you didn't die being cut all to hell and being bludgeoned to death, you die from the infection because they would pour poison and other things in it. Sometimes they would intentionally pee on it just to make sure it would become infected.
Ugh.
Talk about adding insult to injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the Minotaurs using that.
Cool.
They
That's
don't
really
poison
cool.
it though.
Those
Just-
seem to be very rounded edges.
Yeah, that's very rounded. They're normally sharp, but yeah.
They might still be like filed down to razor sharp.
Or that's just for ceremony and looks.
And then Brunner is talking about the Castlevania has a chain whip.
Yep, that is called the Morning Star Whip. And that thing is that is so satisfying to use when you get the full upgraded whip and you go around just smacking down the zombies. I miss good old fashioned games.
But see, you can solve all these handheld weapons with a shotgun.
True.
Just
with
ask a certain
real-life
samurai.
Fantasy guns just aren't that cool.